Good morning. Okay, yesterday we started doing permutations and combinations where we're using n options, choosing r options. It's a little different than what we did on Tuesday. On Tuesday, when we did permutations, we were, we had n options and we were using all of those options. For example, some of the problems said you have 9 players on a baseball team. You need to set up a batting order. What are all the possible ways? How many possible ways could you do that? And to that basic permutation, we would just do something like 9 exclamation point, which means factorial. Okay, we did that on Monday, but that's where we had 9 choices and we were taking them all. And that really comes down to that for the leadoff batter, we had 9 choices, and for the second batter, since we already used one, we only had 8, and then 7, and then 6, all the way down to 1. So we use that 9 exclamation point or 9 factorial. Now, Google Sheets will do that for us, I believe. We just type in equals FACT, parenthesis, and then our number, let's say 9. See, it's already popping up with the answer there. So we could do factorials very quickly in Google Sheets, and that's very nice for us. But what we want to talk about today is if we're doing a permutation, n, so it's n choosing r options. And how do we do that? So let's go back to yesterday's worksheet. I did post the solutions to this worksheet. Feel free to check your answers and email me with any questions. Let's go back to that worksheet and try one of the problems that are on there. So let's start with this number 5, where we have 2 people planning trips. They're going to go to 3 countries this year. There's 7 countries they'd like to visit. They're going to do a week-long trip, a 2-day trip, and a 2-week trip. And what's significant here is that because the trips are different lengths, it becomes important which country you do for which trip. So that means that if you pick the same 3 countries in a different order, that creates a different outcome for the problem. So important things to note, we have 7 countries as options. We have 3 different trip lengths as being chosen. So we're doing a permutation where n is 7 and r equals 3. So the normal process to do this would be to do something like 7 factorial. Let's really quick center this entire thing so that it lines up well. 7 factorial. We'll just give that an underline so it looks like a fraction. And the denominator is going to be n minus r, or 7 minus 3, so we would have 4 factorial in the denominator. Google Sheets will do this for us. It's wonderful. Equals number of permutations of n from number of objects. So we're going to click on that one. And we need to put in our n value, which is 7, and our r value, which is 3. And you could already see it's popping up and telling us our answer is 210, which is the correct answer for that problem. So I'll go ahead and type in what we put in there. We put equals probably going to give me an error here because it doesn't like that formula. I'm going to get rid of the equal sign there. There you go. So there's your equation right there on how you do this in Google Sheets. Very simple, very quick. Equals PERMU, parenthesis, put in your n value, put in your r value, and you're all set. The key here is you need to recognize when to use a permutation of n choosing r. And that is, again, we said it yesterday. If we go down here to the bottom of the sheet I have, this is on the same sheet I shared with you yesterday. Permutations, when we have n options and choose only some of them, no repetition is allowed to use a permutation, and different orderings of the same 3 choices count as different outcomes. So that's going to be your key, is you're going to have to identify when we're doing a normal permutation, when we're choosing all of our options, when we're doing a permutation of n choosing r, and when we're doing a combination of n choosing r. Permutation, same three choices, count as different outcomes. Combination, same three choices would count as the same outcome. Let's take a look at an example of a combination. Combination of n choosing r. Okay. So we'll go back to our sheet and find an example. This was a tough one. A lot of people had struggled with this one in class yesterday, but we'll go ahead and through it right now. 110 people are at a meeting. They each shake hands with everyone else. How many handshakes occur? So this is an example of a combination, and the reason for that is if you have two people shaking hands, let's call them person A and person B. Person A shaking person B's hand counts as the same handshake as person B shaking person A's hand. So the order of the two people results in the same handshake, as in only one handshake. So we have to do a combination here. Now the key to this is there are 110 people. How many are we choosing? Well, we're choosing two people. How many different ways can we order two people out of 110 people? So we're going to do a combination here. Again, we have n is going to be equal to 110, and r, since we have two people for a handshake, is going to be 2. And this would look like 110 factorial divided by 110 minus 2 would be 108 factorial times n factorial, which would be 2 factorial. That is what our equation would look like if we did it all the way. Lucky for us, equals combination. You can see it pop right up here. 110, choosing 2. There's our answer, 5,995, which is the correct answer. And we did so. Not too difficult to do these things in Google Sheets. All right. Put up here. We'll go ahead and insert here. Insert a row above. Let's say this is number, I believe that was number 5 and number 6 from the worksheet. We also can do these using Desmos, which is a wonderful tool we have available to us free online, desmos.com, graphing calculator. Down here at the bottom of Desmos is a little keyboard button. Bring it up, go to Functions, under Stats, and here we see NCR and NPR. So we'll go ahead and put in NPR, and you could have just typed NPR in there. And we'll do the exact same problem. We had 7 people to choose from. We were choosing 3 countries. Boom, tells us our answer right here, 210. Nice part about this is you could leave that function in there and just go back and change the 7 and a 3 to the next question. We also can come down there. Again, we could just type in NCR, and it comes up. And 110, comma 2. And there we go. Our answers come up very quickly and easy. So both of these are great shortcuts for you to use. There's also ways to do this in the TI-84 calculator. If you have some time, just hop on YouTube or hop on Google, and you can search and find that very quickly and easily. But these are the tools we have available online to us for free, so I like to use them. So permutations and combinations, shortcuts in Google Sheets and Desmos can save you an awful lot of time. The key for you is make sure you know when to use each one. And sometimes it really is just helpful to sit down and do a little pencil and paper work, write some things down to help your thought process to identify which one you need to do. So thank you for listening, and Good luck on today's assignment.